Jimmy Butler.
Butler to the rim with a two-handed dunk. It's a pass.
Butler with a two-handed slam dunk.
Jimmy G. Buckets gets buckets.
They don't call him Jimmy Buckets for nothing. Our next guest is making his third straight All-Star appearance. Give it up for Jimmy Butler. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate you getting up early. The fans aren't excited, though. I think they were cheering that last night. Jimmy, so the refs call a foul on Marcus Smart at the end of the game, giving you the chance to win it. Did you get the superstar call there?
I don't think so. I think I got a great foul call. If you foul somebody on a jump shot, if you foul somebody on a jump shot.
Did he touch you or not? Did he touch you or not? Because the camera didn't pick it up.
He fouled me. Yes, he fouled me. I'm going to have to talk about this for like the rest of my life. I've already figured it out.
Well, until your next superstar call, you know, you want to get those superstar calls.
He fouled me.
All right. Have you ever gotten a star call?
You can't even say it with a straight face, Jimmy.
He did foul me.
Why can't you stop smiling?
I'm not going to say it was a hard foul.
What's going on?
Did he foul me?
He can't keep a straight face.
Technically, yes.
Okay.
I know this much.
Stop.
No, here's why I won't stop. If that foul had been called against you, you would have lost your damn mind.
Correct.
You know that. I mean, that was a ticky. It was a foul, but it was a ticky-tack foul. But that's y'all thing. I don't care about some regular season game in February right before the All-Star break. Here's what I care about. What the hell is going on in Chicago? I mean, look, man. You guys... I mean, you and D-Wade got sat down. Y'all called out the team, and rightfully so, by the way. I had no problem with it. We haven't seen it like this in a long time. It's like you and D-Wade against the world. What's going on in Chicago?
It is not.
I said it feels like that. That's what I said.
But it's not like that.
Okay, tell me how.
Don't do that. It's not
tell
like
me what
that.
it is. Tell me what it is.
You know, ups and downs. I think every team has them in different ways. Ours were a little bit in the media, and you know, we handled it. Hopefully, we learn from it and start winning some games. That's all that you can hope from.
You called out the team's effort. Both you and D-Wade separately talked about how guys got to want it. You can't want it for them. What was it like for you guys to have to go back into that locker room after being so candid about what the team needed to do?
I mean, I think everybody was pissed off, to say the least. Everybody said what they had to say to me and to D-Wade. And from there, you move on. Well, I mean, what else are you going to do? You going to talk about it every day? No, go out there and win some games.
Last question about it. I know you well enough to know you moved on, but nobody's going to talk smack to you and because they're ticked off, and you just going to stand there. What did you say when those dudes came at you ticked off? I mean, I won't call them scrubs, but let's just say they're significantly lower than Jimmy Butler or D-Wade, and they're coming at you with attitude based on your candor. What did you respond? How did you respond?
I just listened.
Really?
Exactly.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Trust me, he didn't do that. Go ahead.
We all know the way it works in an NBA locker room. Two things determine the pecking order and who's going to listen to whom. One, your contract, and two, how you play, like your excellence, right? That's what's going to determine it. So last year, you look at that team, there were some guys with big contracts who used to be pretty good, not good anymore. I'm quite sure people weren't trying to hear what they had to say. This year, you're the best player on the team, and you got the big contract. Do you have the weight in that locker room that you have earned through your play, going from a guy who no one knew to a defensive-type player to a 20-point scorer to a three-time All-Star?
I think so. I think guys take what I have to say into consideration. I think I might talk a little bit too much. I will say that, but I think it's for the better. I want everybody to be great. I want everybody to want to win, and I think we all do want that, but I think everybody goes about it a different way. I do believe that.
Considering how far you've come, because I can't think of another case quite like yours ever in the NBA, a guy who comes out of nowhere, makes himself into a valuable rotation piece because he hustles so hard on defense, and then turns into a bona fide all-star in the conversation for best two-way player at his position. I don't remember that happening in the past. What do you have to work on, like, on your game now? Are you as good as you're going to get, or is there another level, and what do you do to get there?
Everybody is always asking what's your ceiling. I don't know. I just go into the gym every night, early mornings, and work on my game on everything, because I'm not the best shooter, passer, ball handler, any of that. So I won't stop working, I can tell you that. When it comes to how hard I play, that's just hard. If you want to go out there and play hard and guard, you'll do that.
You know, it's interesting. You know, that's why he said, yeah, he knows where I'm going. You know, Jimmy, you're an all-star. You belong here. And then after the All-Star weekend, you got to go back to Chicago. And I guess what I'm asking you is, based on what I'm seeing in Chicago, you want to stay there? You want to stay in Chicago for the long term?
I love Chicago. But you kind of like me. You like confrontation, don't you? Like you love that. You really do.
I wouldn't say that. I just don't run from it. I don't like it, but I don't run from it. If it's there, it's there, because you got to ask the question. I'm certainly not confronting you. You're not the problem in Chicago. I think John Paxson's a problem. I think Garth Foreman could be a problem. I think everybody outside of Dwayne Wade and you on the roster is a problem. I think all of those things are true. And I just wonder, is Chicago the place for you long term?
I love it in Chicago. We can make it happen. Look at it. Look at Chicago. Beautiful city. Everybody wants to go there.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Who don't?
Wait, who doesn't?
Hold on. I know a bunch of people that don't want to be in Chicago from December through March because with that cold weather. I know a whole bunch of people that don't want to be in Chicago.
Wear a jacket.
And by the way, Jimmy, by the way, I was doing a radio show with Marcellus Wiley in L.A. for almost 6 years.
I remember
L.A. would like you. The Lakers, could use you and would be more than happy for you to be a star in Los Angeles. Now, doesn't that sound pretty good to you?
Please the fifth, man. Why are y'all putting me in this situation?
I'm not going to put it nuts. In all seriousness, first of all, Paxson's to be respected. Things got to get better, but Paxson and Garth Foreman are individuals to be respected. I think what I'm asking is simply this. When we look at Chicago, we think about you, and there's a lot to ask. Some dudes want to wear that on their shoulders. They want to carry a franchise. Others may not. Do you want that responsibility? Because clearly that's what you're going to have to do. Dwayne Wade is older. A lot of young guys on the squad. Do you want that responsibility in all seriousness?
I do. I really do.
Why?
Because this is what I wake up and work out for at 6 a.m. and then go back at 8 p.m. Is to be one of the best, to show that I can help win games. I don't think I've been doing a great job of it right now, but, I mean, we still got a lot of season left. We still got a lot of games to win.
How do you make the rest of the players on the squad? Because you got to be looking at these guys like, yo, I was considered like a scrub once upon a time, and now I'm one of the best players in the league, and that's because I put in the work, as you keep saying. Must be very difficult to watch guys. Maybe some have more talent than you, not be as good as you because they won't put in the work. How do you lead and make them do that?
I just stay in the gym. That's my way of leading.
Lead by example.
That's it. That's it.
The other thing is, because in all seriousness, all joking aside, I want to show respect to the Chicago Bulls, but it's really not about the Bulls. It's about what we're seeing as a culture in the NBA. We're seeing LeBron, who has Love, and Kyrie looking for another piece with rumors about Melo. We're seeing Kevin Durant go to the Golden State Warriors. We see stars trying to, collaborate with one another to win championships. That's not the kind of stuff that you've been talking about or you seem to be about. What's your attitude about all of that?
I want to just compete against any and everybody. I think what got me into this league is going up against the best. I think that's what made me so hungry to want to be one of the best, to be an all-star, to be a star, all-star, superstar, whatever you want to call it. So I pride myself on waking up every day knowing that I get to go up against the best.
That said, if you had to pick one name in the NBA and say, I'd like to play with that guy or like him to come and play with me, who would it be?
One guy?
Yep.
I'd probably have to go with my favorite player, who's not myself, and that's Kyrie. I love Kyrie's game, man. And he's a really good dude. I like Kyrie.
Kyrie is a really good
And actually an underrated player right now.
What kind of a player do you believe would best help your game grow? I know Kyrie's a bad boy, but Kyrie can dance on anybody. He is just a wrecking crew all by himself. But I'm talking about the kind of player that you look at and say, this dude would take my game to another level. Who would that player be?
Any type of shooter to where I can attack the paint, get to the rim, to the free throw line, and do what I do best, because you can't leave that guy. So, I don't know, Kyle Korver, a shooter like that.
Oh, you can pick up a Kyle Korver. That's not hard. He's talking about like KD or Steph or someone like that.
They can shoot too. So
right. Are you one of those? Do you envision some of the storylines coming out this weekend? Like a lot of people are talking about Westbrook and Kevin Durant on the same All-Star team. How are things going to be? Do you find yourself thinking about that on a weekend like this? Okay. All right. Works for me. No. Just ask.
Good question.
Focus on the East. They're relentless. Thanks for putting up with it. Jimmy, we appreciate you. So let's take a deep breath.